Hey, Jeffco, Dale Munholland here. And today is actually a Thursday Friday for all of us when I'm recording this because tomorrow we don't have any students. So it's a Thursday Friday kind of today. So woohoo! How exciting is that? Today, for our Minute with the Contract, we're going to look at Article 8. And Article 8 is all about licensed educators, resources, class size, and caseloads. And oh my, great googly moogly, it's huge. This is a ginormous article. So we're going to break this up into into two different parts. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about buildings, and we're going to talk about DTLs, and then we're going to talk about counselors, and then we're going to talk about special ed mental health providers. So let's get right into it. First up, the most important thing, and these are just the highlights again, the most important thing is Article 8-1-1. So, the district assures that all educators will be assigned to a well-ventilated, heated, and properly lighted classrooms when they are scheduled to be at work. For whatever reason, this was kind of a fight to get this phrasing in. Because you guys, I'm sure you know, you've experienced it. We show up in August. We're supposed to be in the building, and we're working in our buildings, and the air conditioning or the chillers or whatever is not happening. And it is hot. Like we're baking muffins in our classrooms hot. We're cleaning the windows with Easy Off hot, so hot. And then we have to go to the Ed Center for a meeting. And it's, a nice breezy 72. But in our buildings, it's super hot. And the rationale was, well, you don't have students. But we still have people there. So the district now assures us when we're supposed to be in the building, when teachers are scheduled to be in the building, everything will be functioning. So it's a comfortable environment. It'll be warm in the winter, it'll be cool in the summer, and we can have lights and all of the other nice, pretty things. So that's an important one, 8-1-1. All right, moving on to 8-4-1. What do we got? 8-4-11. Schools will determine through the collaborative decision-making process how many teachers it needs. So the school will come together. There'll be some sort of collaborative group, as outlined in Article 10, that will come together. They'll look at the student population, look at the total number of students and the type of population that these students are, and collaboratively, the school will determine how many educators we need for the school. This is not to be done in a silo by an administrator or a team of administrators or hand-picked people by the administrator sitting in an office somewhere deciding how many administrators or how many teachers they need. This has to be a collaborative process. So that's 8-4-1-1. All right, moving on. We're going to move into teacher librarians, digital teacher librarians, DTLs. And 8-4-22 right here pretty much just outlines what a DTL does, what the expectations of a DTL is. If we move down to 8-4-23, this is important. DTLs, we all know, are life saviors in our buildings when it comes to technology, because technology very often doesn't work the way it's supposed to, right? One of my favorite sayings is, pen and paper never has a bad day. It just always seems to work. Computers and the internet and projectors and all of that doesn't seem to work sometimes, and the DTLs often come to our rescue. But we do have to realize, we have to recognize that they are not the people repairing devices, student devices or teacher devices, and or hardware. That's not in their job description. That's not what they do. They should not be repairing Chromebooks and projectors and things like that. That is not the role or the job of DTLs. Moving on. Oh dear, what happened here? Oh, it's International Talk Like a Pirate Day. Well, arr, matey. All right, 8-4-33, we're going to move down. 8-4-33, right down here, this is about school counselors. So school counselors, very important in the schools. And school counselors' time, 80% of their time should be spent dealing with the things that we think school counselors, that come to mind when we think of school counselors. They're working with students, they're working on intervention supports, consultations, collaborations, referrals, and only 20% of their time should be doing the other parts of their job. Their job is to work with students and help make students' lives better socially, academically. That should be the focus of what they do. Also, school counselors are very, very important when it comes to 504s. Counselors play an integral role in that. However, they are not the sole primary writer of 504s. That is not the role of the counselor. Counselors are not the keepers of the 504s. Counselors are not the ones who are creating the 504s. That's not their job. They play an integral part in it, but they are not the people responsible for creating 504s. Oh, nay, nay. Nor are they not the testing gurus in the buildings. They are not to be the SACs, weird term, but they are not the testing coordinators within the building. They certainly play a role, they certainly can help, but they are not the ones in charge of testing in the school. That is not the role of the counselors. Again, that is an 8-4-3-3. If you are a counselor and you're doing these things, no. So that's somebody else's responsibility. Definitely not yours. You've got enough of your own stuff doing. All right, down to SPED mental health providers. 8-4-4-1. So, mental health providers in SPED are extraordinarily important people. They do a lot of good work, and there's a lot of work for them to do. So 80% of their job should be spent directly interacting with students or supporting those students in some way. 20% of their time should be spent collecting, analyzing data, and writing reports. Their job, SPED mental health providers, their job is to work with students, and that's what the majority of their time should be spent doing, working directly with our students that need the help the most, not looking at data and not writing reports. That should be the lesser part of their job. So that's 8-4-4-1. Ugh. And then the last one we're going to look at today is 8-4-5-2. Oh, all of these numbers, I tell you. Okay, down here, this is about instructional coaches. So instructional coaches, they provide an important role within the building. I think every building has an instructional coach. Instructional coaches are not admin, nor are they junior admin, nor are they admin in any way. They should not be looked upon or treated as admin. They are licensed teachers within the building fulfilling a role of a licensed teacher, not of an admin. They get the same planning time that licensed teachers get. They get a duty-free lunch, just like licensed teachers get. They are not admin, they are not pseudo-admin, they are licensed teachers fulfilling an instructional duty within the building. And that's how they should be looked upon, that's how they should be treated. And that's where we're going to stop with our look at Article 8. So our next part 2 of Article 8 we'll have out in, I think 2 weeks or so. So be looking for it. Until then, take care, Jeff Go. You have any questions, you have problems, concerns, conundrums, make sure to contact me either via district email or my personal email, Prez, Prez, jeffdelvis@yahoo.com. I can help you. A lot of you contacted me about various discipline questions that you had from my last video. Hope I helped you. And we'll see you again. Take care, Jeff.